Alright everybody, this is the second video. This is the weekly assignments for week 5. Okay, so this is going to be a little bit different than what you've seen in the past, so please pay attention throughout the rest of the video. Okay, alright, continuing forward. So, you get to choose one assignment. Okay, one of those assignments, that's it. That's all you have to do. There's no weekly drawing for this week. There is one assignment due at the end of the week. You get to choose. Now, because you only get to choose one, and because you don't have any weekly drawings, it's a little bit longer than usual. Okay, it's a little bit more. I'm going to ask a little bit more of you. But they're not hard. They're just a little bit longer. Okay, so don't worry too much. Okay, alright. So, moving forward, what I'm going to do is I'm going to describe each of the 3 videos, or each of the 3 assignments. So what I would do, if I were you, and I'm not you, but if I were you, I would watch the whole video and I would see what each of them do, and then I would go back and I would take notes on which specific one I wanted to do. Okay, or do that at the very beginning. Watch the whole thing, take notes while you're watching about which one's which. Okay, and then you can come back to this video to describe it. I'll put out different assignments for each of these to describe what you're doing, so you can turn them into that Dropbox specifically. So I'm only expecting one thing from you by the end of the week. Okay, so you don't have to do all 3. Please do not do all 3. Okay, you're not going to get extra credit if you do all 3. Okay, if you just do one, that's all you need. Okay, I think I've said it enough times, so hopefully no one does more than one. Okay, so moving forward, poster drawing activity. What this is about, okay, you are going to draw a poster depicting the ecosystem you chose. That was from a couple weeks ago, okay? So I was looking through all of them. If I gave a comment or if I sent you an email saying this is going to be a little bit of a change, go with that change. But if you did not receive an email or if you did not get a comment on your choice for an ecosystem, then you are good to go on your first choice. Okay, so most of you sorted out yourselves to picking your first choice. Okay, if you have any questions about which ecosystem you need to choose, please email me and I'll help you set that up. If not, go back. I think it was week 3. You can look at your choice there. Okay, so you're going to draw a picture, a poster depicting your ecosystem you chose. Okay, this is an example for sage shrubland. Okay. Now, what I want with your poster, okay, you need to show some of the plant life, you need to show some of the animals. I'm pointing at the screen, but you can't see that I'm pointing at the screen. You don't have to draw everything like this poster shows, but showing some of the things is going to be what I want to look for, okay? In addition to that, I want you to put a little paragraph, type up a little paragraph describing the climate. So, what's the elevation? Where is it located? Okay, what's the average precipitation? Those kind of things. Okay, you can include more things like that. We learned about that with weather and climate. You can include any number of those things. Okay, within that average snowfall, average humidity. Those all would be great things to have on there. Okay. In addition to that little climate blurb, have something about the plants and animals you put onto your poster. So if you drew some elk, I want you to say something about elk. Okay, you don't have to go make a research paper about elk, but just say, this is an elk and it's a primary consumer in this ecosystem, something like that. Okay, something small, just labeling out what the things you put onto the poster are. Okay, you can use these CPW. You might type Colorado Division of Wildlife, the DOW, because that's what these were made for originally before they merged into a different organization, or Paul Gray. He's the artist of these. Okay, I've mentioned him before. I'm going to see if I can put up all of these posters. They're not going to be in color. I'm going to put up all these posters that I can, so you can flip through those if you want. Or you can go back to the ecosystem video. I might just link the ecosystem video in here, so you guys can go back and forth to that and be able to watch that video and see what the ecosystems were and a little description from me. Okay? So that is that activity. So if you want to do the poster drawing activity, you're going to have to draw it out by hand. Okay, so just like a drawing activity we were doing for every week, except you're just doing a representation of this poster. Okay, you can use these posters, like I said, but I wouldn't, trace over it and copy verbatim. Okay, this could be a lot of intricate work. Make it as best you can. Okay, again, I'm not judging your art quality. I'm judging that you did it and that you are including some science with it. Okay, so that's that activity. Next activity, species research project. Okay, big mule deer. I'll talk about why in a second. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to your ecosystem that you chose. You're going to pick any species. It could be plant, it could be animal. I don't care what species it is, but you pick one species. And what you're doing is you are writing one page about your species. What are you writing about? Here's what you're writing about. You're going to write about where it lives. What's its habitat? Okay, describe where it lives. Okay, don't just say it lives in the forest, because that's not a very clear answer. Okay, describe what kind of forest. There's multiple forest types in Colorado. Describe that forest. What are some animals? What are some plants? Those kind of things. The habitat. Okay, what's the range? Where can you find this habitat? Okay, so habitat is going to describe where it lives. Range is going to be describing where that habitat is. Okay, range can go from, if you're talking about the Rockies, that goes from the top of Alaska to, Mexico. So that's the range of the Rockies, but the habitat of the Rockies changes as you go through different places. So there's different habitats within the Rockies. So you're going to be looking at range and habitat. They're different. Okay. Population number. If you can find a number, that'd be awesome. Along with that, it's going to be its conservation status. We're going to talk about that within our notes. So make sure you pop on in there for a little description about some of these things. Okay. But population number would be awesome. If you can find a number of how many things or how many of them there are, great. That would also help with your conservation status. Okay. Is it endangered? It's not going to be extinct, hopefully. But is it endangered? Is it threatened? Is it least concern? Those kind of things. Okay. So what's the conservation status? How many are there? Diet development. So what does it eat? How does it grow up? Okay. Does it get born from an egg? Do they live in the nest with their mom for a little bit and then they fly out? Are they left alone? How does it grow up? Okay, so a little description about that. I don't need a full thesis on that. I don't need 10 pages. Like I said, make this like a page, 2-page, okay, 2-page max, I'm gonna say. Okay, you can quote me on that, 2-page max. This does not have to be huge, okay? And then significant species. Talk about keystone. Is it a keystone species? Why is it a keystone species? An indicator species. Why is it an indicator species? We're going to talk about what those all mean, and you'll learn more about those in the notes. So make sure you pop over to the notes for that. Okay. I'm running out of time here. Include a picture and include a scientific name. Okay. So that page, 2-page max, like I said. Okay. Field guide. So you have the option, you can create a field guide for your ecosystem. So go back to your ecosystem again. Think about these things when you're creating a field guide. You're creating a field guide for 3 plants, 3 flora, and 3 fauna, 3 animals. Okay? I don't care, again, what plants you choose. I don't care what animals you choose. If you want to do all birds, that's cool. If you want to do all trees, that's also cool. Try to put a mix in there if you want. But if this is up to you, you get to pick which 3 plants, which 3 animals you choose within your field guide. Okay. Within the field guide, I need you to put a physical description of whatever you're describing. Okay. So if it's a bird, what color is it? If it's an animal, what color is it? If it's a flower, what color is it? What is its shape? What is its size? Those kind of things. You can look at this picture to kind of give it a little description about it. Okay. Range, habitat. Where does it live? Describe a little bit of the habitat. Okay. You can see in the Stan's notes here a little bit of the description of kind of the bird itself, but it also describes some, profiles of where it might live. Okay. Diet, what does it eat? You could be pretty broad with this, like it says in here, insects, seeds, fruit. If you're doing a plant, it eats water. It drinks water. That's all it does. So you don't have to go super in depth for diet on that. Okay. Include a picture, include a scientific name. Okay. So you can draw these, you can do this by hand, or you can make it in Google Docs, okay, using pictures online. I don't care. You can do either one. If you wanted to print out the pictures and put them onto a hand done one, that's cool too. Okay, you don't have to draw if you do not want to for this assignment. Okay, so the next slide, this one's describing a little bit of plant ones. Okay, so these are all plants that are actually in our area. This is a field guide for northern New Mexico, so it's pretty similar to what we've got around here. We have prickly pear, rabbit brush, scarlet globe mallow. I haven't heard of shrubby cinquefoil. I've seen it, I think, but I haven't heard of it before. So, looking at rabbit brush down here, it describes it. This is a tall, brushy shrub, has numerous small yellow flower heads in dense rounded clusters without any ray flowers. Okay, so it describes a little bit about what it looks like, and then it blooms, its habitat, and then other little comments. Okay, nothing too big, nothing too fancy. It's got a picture, it's got its common name, and it's also got its scientific name. Okay, I want both of those. Basically, I want to be able to take your thing and use it in the wild to identify plants. Okay, so I've gone over a little bit on time, but the first video was a little short, so I'm going to call it okay. Okay, so if you have any questions, please email me. Like I said, you're going to get information on your papers about this, so you guys can turn this in and get this going. Okay, all right, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.